All right, brothers, let's talk about something critical, man. Let's talk about how to get back on path after you've been drifting. You know what I'm saying? Because we can talk about a lot of the elements that cause a man to drift. We can talk about bad relationships. We can talk about a number of things, man. But I want to talk about how to get back on path once you've discovered you've been drifting. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if you live long enough, if you grind hard enough, if you're trying to push the envelope hard enough, at some point in time, you're gonna find yourself sometimes just one or two steps off the path. Sometimes you might find yourself on the back 40 acres of some foreign land, man, and you travel off path, man. So I want to talk about how to get back on path, or however you want to take this conversation, how to avoid drifting, how to guarantee that you won't drift, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about three things, right? The first thing is this, man. It's very hard, I'll say impossible, to drift if you have a destination. So the first thing is you have to have a destination. And the reason I put that first is because the majority of men I talk to have no destination, right? They have some ideas and they have some theories about some things they want to do one day, but having ideas and having a destination, brothers, is two different things. It's two different things, man. Like if you've ever watched the 4 Levels of Becoming, right? And I'll put a link if you want to check 4 Levels of Becoming. It talks about, and it's probably an hour or so long. It talks about how to take things from an idea to vision, or how to make it a destination. Because I'm gonna tell you, the far majority of men only have ideas, only have theories, and they're calling it vision. They're calling it a destination. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it's two completely different things. And if a man doesn't have a destination, like when I'm always saying this, I'm always saying a man must ask himself 2 questions every day: who am I and where am I going? I'm not just saying that because it's in the book. I'm not just saying that because it sounds good. When you wake up every single day and ask yourself, who am I? But especially, where am I going? Oh, brother, you're going to lock into something. And I'm going to tell you this: if you're off path, you're going to quickly discover that you're off path. You know what I'm saying? So the main thing is, and I skipped who are you and went straight to where are you going, your destination, because in order for you to get to your destination, you have to become somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here looking at this beautiful scenery that I showed y'all yesterday. If I'm trying to get to the top of this mountain back here, man, I have to become some kind of person. I have to become somebody else to do that, to accomplish that. So yeah, we can talk about who are you, man, but it's that where are you going that's the most important. Now, the main thing about your destination, not just having a destination mapped out. Not just having a destination identified in your mind. Have a game plan to get to it. Have a strategy to get to it. Because that's part of it being enough to keep you from drifting. Have a game plan to get to it. Because that way, if you're moving wrong, you can see the steps you should be making every single day to get to it. So have a destination and have a game plan to it. In addition to that, have an ETA. What's your estimated time of arrival? Do you plan on getting to that destination in a week? Do you plan on getting to that destination in a month, in a couple of years, in a couple of hours? Like I always say this, man, and I'm sure I didn't make this up, but if you aren't measuring, you aren't moving. If you aren't measuring, you aren't moving. Try to lose weight if you want to, but you keep avoiding that scale. Keep avoiding that scale. You're not moving. Trust me. Keep trying to save money, but you're scared to look at that bank account because you're scared to see what it's going to say. You're not moving if you're scared to measure. You know what I'm saying? So if you're scared to measure, you're not moving. So always have an ETA on the destination you're trying to get to, right? The second thing is you have to understand that all relationships must have value. All relationships must have value, right? And I'm going to say this. Most of us have too many wives, man. Most of us as men have too many wives. Meaning we have too many relationships, man. And the reason I say wives is because you got to understand that all relationships, I've said it a million times, all relationships are marriages. So your partners you gonna hang with on the weekend, y'all gonna have a few brews, y'all gonna have a few like energetically, those are your wives. Energetically, those are your wives. All of the places you go visit, the club, the movie theater, whatever you're going to, those are your wives. You're exchanging energy. You're forming a world with these things and these people and these places. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, a lot of us have too many wives. A lot of us have too many friends. You got too many places you want to go on the weekend. You have too many things going on. You have too many people that have access to your phone number. Too many people that can just come knock on your door at any time. And I'm not saying that a mass of people is bad, but a mass of people that aren't offering you any kind of growth is horrible. It's just a matter of time before you start drifting, brothers. You have to look at all your friendships, all your relationships as barter, as like a barter system. And I mentioned this a few videos ago where I was saying, hey, you know what? If someone doesn't have some kind of knowledge to exchange with me, then there's really no relationship. It is not necessarily about knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's not because I have some young guys, man, that are 20 years old, 22 years old, that are just not living life. They can call me at any time they want to, and they don't have a lot of life knowledge to give me, but they have some light exchange to give me. Light exchange. Points of view, ways of seeing the world. In other words, when I'm sitting there talking to them and we're talking about goals, they aren't coming from a place of lack. They aren't coming from a place of fear. They're coming from a place of being one with God, and they're speaking with light. So I might can sit there and tell them how to, hey man, this is how you start your YouTube, this is how you do whatever. Or we can talk about anything, relationships, talk about spirituality. As long as them brothers are giving light in exchange. But I'm gonna tell you, man, when I'm talking to somebody and there is no light exchange, it's not taking place, bro. It's not, because I understand it's just a matter of time before I start drifting, bro. It's just a matter of time before we kiki and haha, and one day we shooting. One day next thing I know, we vibrating on the same frequency. You ain't doing nothing every day. I ain't doing nothing every day. Your partners. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the relationships you have with women, which we really ain't got to talk about that, man. Like, and I say that's one of the most important, because you and your woman, y'all are going to be intimate. That's a whole nother level of creating worlds. Y'all are going to be intimate. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that the woman in your life is bringing you, again, value, bringing you light, keeping you on path. Keeping you on path. At minimum, the woman should be keeping you on path, meaning when you share your destination, hey, I'm going to that mountaintop up there. That's where I'm going, yonder ways. That's the destination. When she understands that that's the destination, it would make no sense for you to be headed toward the mountaintop, and now she's sprinkling, oh, let's go to the club before we get on the path. Oh, let's do this. Let's spend money here. Let's invest in this. Let's go have fun here. Let's smoke and drink this. It's like I've told you the destination. And everything you're throwing my way is leading me astray from this mountaintop. I'm gonna tell you, man, your woman is the quickest way you can find yourself off path. Quickest way. And I'm not gonna, go into that, man. But you gotta understand, like, when you talk about the value your woman can create, if nothing else, I said this a few videos ago. I said the reason a lot of women run from that question of what do you bring to the table, because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. So if nothing else, what your woman should bring to the table, if that mountaintop is your destination, what your woman should bring to the table is the aura, the energy, the environment of you being a hiker. That's the world she's creating around you. That as your architect, that's the world she must be building. And if she isn't building a world that's aligned with your path, it's just a matter of time before you find yourself 40 acres in the wrong direction, bro. If your destination is to be in tip-top shape, then the world she's creating is good foods and good sleep, and you get what I'm saying? Whatever world, whatever your destination is, it is her job to create that world. If not, you'll find yourself off path. Not sometimes, 100% of the time, bro. 100% of the time, man. So manage your relationships. Manage your relationships, man. And again, if it isn't aligned, bro, you got to give them the Heisman. You got to keep some distance in there, man. You know what I'm saying? And this third one, man, is simple, man. It's simply to keep moving. It's simply to never stop moving. I know as cliche as that sounds, as simple as that sounds, I'm gonna tell you this. It's hard to, well, I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say that. It's not hard. It's not hard to drift if you don't stop moving, because you can just keep moving and moving in the wrong direction. But if you're doing those other two things, if you have a destination, if you're monitoring mainly the first one, if you're managing your destination and keeping your eyes on the prize, and you never stop moving, oh, you'll see if you're getting closer or further away from it. Never stop moving, man. So one reason is so you can see the destination getting closer or further. But once you stop moving, and when I say stop moving, meaning, and I've been here, I'm guilty of this. This is why I'm saying this, brothers. When I say stop moving, meaning you have something you're building, you have something you're working on, you're trying to do whatever, and you stop. You go one day, I'll put it off into tomorrow. One day turns into a week. 1 week turns into a month. 1 year turns into 20 years. And you look up, and not only have you not moved in 100 years, now your muscles aren't the same. Now that muscle memory isn't the same. Now that ability to just get back on it and get the trucking is not the same, because you've been sitting stagnant for so long. You know what I'm saying? So just never stop moving, man. It's almost more beneficial to be off path, and kind of like I talk about in A Singular Truth. It's almost better in some scenarios to be living life in circles as opposed to sitting still. Because if you're sitting still and you're drifting, you don't know you're drifting. You know what I'm saying? You can see, if you're sitting still and you're sitting there looking at that mountaintop and it's just slowly creeping away. Every year it's like, man, am I closer or am I further away? Like it's going so slow because I'm not moving. I can't really tell if I'm moving or. But if you're steadily moving and you're off path, it's like, oh, now I'm going to know a lot quicker. It's just like if you get lost in the city and you're walking around the blocks. If you see the blue house with the gray roof one time and you keep walking, an hour later you see that same house, and an hour later you see that same house, you're gonna say, hey, something's wrong. I'm seeing certain cycles in my life. I'm seeing certain things repeat themselves, and I'm not getting any closer. Like I thought I was getting closer to my destination because I'm moving, but I'm rocking. I'm damn near running. But man, I keep seeing the same patterns take place. I keep having the same type relationships with women. My money keeps doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? All my partners keep doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost better to just keep moving, man. So never stop. Because you'll see the patterns in life, bro. Right? So again, man, one of the most important conversations we can have as men is how to avoid drifting. Or if not how to avoid drifting, how to get back on path after you've drifted, brother.